Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you enjoy my videos, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Good day, my true crime friends. Today I'm going to share some more tidbits from Ziggy's 2 chats with Fred Hill. For this video, I went back to Ziggy's initial conversation with Fred Hill, the time when he showed her the bones. This is to serve as a reminder of what Hill said at that time and see how it compares to what he's telling Ziggy during her recent conversation with him. Now, I thought I'd listen to this full recording back when Ziggy first shared it months ago, but I must have forgotten some of what Fred and his common-law wife said. By the way, it's my understanding that Fred and his woman are not married, but that she considers herself his wife, so FYI, I'm going to call her his wife. After listening to this recording, I might have to backtrack on my musings on whether Fred's a nice guy or not. Both Fred and his wife drop the N-word effortlessly in the recording. Now, in one part, I believe they were reiterating what Don Wells said, but it seems that they repeated the word and it flowed freely from their mouths because Ziggy had to mute large swaths of the conversation. I have a problem with this. The only people who, in my mind, have the right to drop that offensive term are people of color. When Fred and his partner then start talking about the Ku Klux Klan in positive terms, as if the KKK is out there in Tennessee doing good works for the community, handing out hot dogs, as Jody Sue Brown said in one of her videos, and as if the white supremacist hate group no longer targets Black Americans, I can see that Fred and company, like Don Wells, carry some racism in their hearts. Sorry, but implying that the KKK has radically changed over the years and is no longer hateful to African Americans is just not true. It also may hint to the overriding attitudes and beliefs of that holler. It doesn't look like a racially integrated holler. It seems more insular than inclusive. And I bet that just like strangers shouldn't drive into Beach Creek at night, and the police, at least according to Jody Sue, won't get out of their cars there after sundown, Black Americans, Jews, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans, Muslims, immigrants, and anyone else deemed lesser by the Klan best not step out on Ben Hill Road either. I don't want to say everyone in Beach Creek is racist, but Fred Hill, his wife, and Don Wells just might be. By the way, the KKK was actually founded in Pulaski, Tennessee, by a group of bored Confederate veterans who were subsequently deemed the Immortal Six. Former Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest was the group's first Grand Wizard back in May or early June of 1866. Forrest amassed a fortune before the Civil War as a Memphis slave trader and plantation owner. During the Civil War, Forrest was in charge during the Battle of Fort Pillow, where an estimated 300 African American soldiers were massacred by Forrest's men after surrendering. The KKK quickly grew from a secret social fraternity to a paramilitary force focused on reversing the federal government's progressive Reconstruction era activities in the South, especially policies that elevated the rights of the local Black population. In 1869, General Forrest tried to disband the KKK after he grew critical of the Klan's excessive violence. The Klan clearly has deep roots in Tennessee, So we probably should not be shocked that JSB, Fred Hill, and his wife mention it. But let's move on. In the first conversation, Fred's wife says that she's known Don Wells for 20 years, and he was never religious until Summer went missing. And the first thing Wells had to say to them the night Summer vanished is that he can't wait for the resurrection so that he can see Summer again. Fred's wife states that after that first night, Don then started coming over every couple of days to ask them if they've seen or heard anything. That may be the extent of Don Wells searching for his 5-year-old daughter. In this initial chat, Fred Hill tells Ziggy that on June 15th, the day Summer disappeared, he saw Andy Bernard between 3 and 3:30 p.m. in the holler. He also mentioned seeing Don Wells around 9:30 a.m. Again, JSB has said Bernard was at work all day, and Don Wells has said that he left home around 7:30 a.m. that morning. Don also stated that Summer was still asleep at that time. Fred thought he saw the Wells boys with Don, but said he couldn't be 100% sure of that. Hearing Fred say he saw Don at 9:30 a.m. in Beach Creek, and hearing H tell Chris McDonough that Don called Candace that day to tell her about a guy up on the hill who was trying to touch the little kids, makes me think Don really was at home that day and not at work. Fred also mentioned for the first time that the eldest boy was with Don the whole time that first night, and that he felt it was because Don was trying to control what the boy said, meaning keep the boy from saying anything. As the conversation continues, Hill brings up when Don first moved to 110 Ben Hill Road. He says that Don drove his mother crazy by putting recording devices under her home. If that's true, that's weird. Hill mentions that the mother thought people were trying to kill her. I'm wondering if Don's mom, Karen Goad, maybe felt that Don was there primarily to get control of the house and the 11 acres it sits on, and maybe she was worried they might hasten the process of her dying. Just me speculating. Also, if Don was doped up, that likely would have added to Karen Goad's worries. It's hard to picture Don and Candace as doting children going out of their way to take care of Karen Goad when she was ill. Fred Hill also offers up that Don and Candace had 2 little girls after Summer. They said Candace gave one up before Don even knew she gave birth to it. The wife says Candace gave up a baby girl 2 to 3 months before Summer went missing. Now, Jody Sue Brown said in one of her videos that when Candace gave birth to Summer, no one knew she was pregnant until she turned back up at 110 Ben Hill Road with a baby girl. Is it possible what Fred and his wife said is true? Could Candace have hidden pregnancies under those long baggy tops? I think all of this has been debunked, but it's compelling how confidently Fred and his wife talk about that. Other accusations Fred Hill and his wife make about the Wells in this first conversation include the following. 1. The kids slept on bare mattresses. We already likely know this, but it's a confirmation beyond Jose Roman, who said the same thing. 2. The kids were skin and bones and malnourished for a long time and had only recently been looking as if they were eating better. 3. None of the kids could read or write, and they all barely spoke. 4. Candace called Don instead of dialing 911 on June 15th, even though we all know she's capable of dialing 911 because she and her mother reported Don for DV. Good point, Fred. Why didn't Candace call 911 herself to report Summer missing? If she had, she could have alerted authorities sooner rather than later. 5. Don, when he lived in a trailer with his first wife on the property, had a cardboard sign listing various physical acts, wink wink, and prices for each one. Per Fred, this crazy activity went on for 3 months until a preacher man shut it all down. Now, something new. I'm going to share a movie recommendation with you, one that, in my opinion, illustrates what life in rural hollers like Beech Creek might be like. It's a really good movie, and some of the characters in it seem a lot like Don Wells, Candace Bly, Fred Hill, Jodie Sue Brown. The movie is called Winter's Bone, and it stars Jennifer Lawrence. In fact, I think it may have been her breakout role. So I highly recommend it. It's called Winter's Bone. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories, on your way out, if you would please hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And if you want to support my channel, you can now give thanks in the form of donations in your comments.